Okay, so on test 3 review, this is 16 and 17, and you're going to find the unknown number in the proportion, that's finding the x, and then we're going to write our answer as a whole number or a mixed number. So they're looking for a fraction as an answer or a whole number. So we do it the same way we do the others. It's not any different. When you have a proportion, you do the cross multiplication to solve for it. So the 1 times the 8 and 1/9 will be equal to the 5 times the x. So we'll write that down. 1 times 8 and 1/9 is going to equal 5 times x. Times the x. So it still doesn't change. We still do the same thing we did before. But before we divide both sides by 5, let's make this a simpler term. So let's multiply this out following our fraction rules. Let's take our whole number 1 and place it over 1. And let's multiply that by the improper fraction. So we're going to change the mixed number to an improper fraction. We're going to multiply 8 times 9 and then add the 1. 8 times 9 is 72, or 9 times 8 is 72, plus the 1, which is 73. And when we calculate that, we just put it back over the 9. So now we have a basic multiplication problem. 1 times 73, 1 times 9. So that makes this fraction 73/9. It's not really a nice fraction, but at least now we're not dealing with this whole multiplication here. So that's equal to the 5x. Now we're going to take the step, and in order to separate the 5 from the x, or get the x isolated, we have to divide by 5, because that will eliminate the 5 on this side of the equal signs, but whatever you do on this side has to be done on the other side. So we'll divide by 5 on this side, and we will divide by 5 on the other side, and that's very strange. So what we have, 5 over 5 cancels, and we can say that from the previous video I mentioned it. Any number over itself equals 1. So it's like saying 1 times x. So now let's move this problem over here. We have 73 over 9, which is all over 5, equal to x. So we need to simplify this expression. So we're going to take the 73/9 and divide it, because this division sign here, that fraction line is a division sign, and that becomes this division sign. So you keep your numerator 73/9, divide by the 5, and put the 5 over 1. And that, of course, you have to change it to multiplication, because that's the only way to solve fractions with division. You change that to multiplication, division becomes multiplication, and then you do the inverse of only the next, or the one on the right, and that means you're turning it around. So you have 73, because 73 times 1 is 73, over 9 times 5, and that's 45. That's not very friendly. Anyway, that is equal to your x. Now, what it's asking you to do in the directions, we're not done with it yet, but I will circle so you know where we are at least. It says a whole number or a mixed number. So we need to take this improper fraction and change it into a mixed number. And what that means is you divide. So 45, we're going to divide it into 73. Bottom into the top. So it'll go one time, because 45 plus 45 is 90. So it won't go in twice. Then you subtract. 13 minus 5 is 8. And we borrowed, so that made that a 6. We have 28 as a remainder. And if you remember, when you have fractions, the quotient is the whole number. The remainder is the numerator of the new fraction. That's the part left over. And it's just the 45 on the bottom there. That's the denominator. That denominator is not going to change. So then your answer, when it's reduced to a mixed number, is 1 and 28/45. Let's see, 28 can be divided by 7, 45 cannot. I think that's all reduced. You can't divide by 3, you can't divide by 9, you can't divide by 2. So the answer is 1 and 28/45 for number 16. So we set up 1 times 8 and 1/9, that's that. Set it equal to the 5 times x. Then you take the 8 and 1/9 and you make it an improper fraction. Then you take your improper fraction, set it equal to the 5x, and divide both sides by 5. Well, that means you have to take 73 over 9 divided by 5, so you make it horizontal. And multiply, because you change division to multiplication, multiply by the inverse. And you get 73/45, which is improper, so you change it to a mixed fraction. Alright, and I'm not going to have room, so I have to eliminate this problem. But you can always rerun and watch what I did. Alright, so we'll delete that, and now with this problem it is the same situation. You're solving in the same way, that is. You take whatever you multiply there, it will set it equal, let's use a darker blue, set it equal to what you multiply there. So we'll set it up, the red one, 20 times 1/4, and I'm going to go ahead and put the 20 over 1 times the 1/4. That's this times that, and we're going to set that equal to the 5 times the x. Okay, let's not divide by 5 yet until we get this simplified. In this situation, we can cross cancel. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, 4 into 20 is 5, and all that is like reducing a fraction, but it's on the diagonal. So then we multiply 5 times 1, which is 5. We have a numerator of 5. 1 times 1 on the bottom, so it's 5 over 1 equals 5x. Okay. 5 over 1, let's put it back to 5. And this is nice and easy. So we're going to divide both sides by 5, because whatever you do to this side, you have to do to this side. And look at that. It becomes an x. This is a 5. So 5 over 5 is 1. So that means 1 equals x. 1 equals x. So your answer on number 17 is much simpler. All right.